What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. And as you can hear, I have a brand new microphone for the YouTube channel. Hopefully, it sounds a lot clearer and hopefully, the quality is better. But our very first interview for the week is going to be by Christian Ortiz, who actually won Virginia States. And as you see, it is a Night March deck. But the cool thing about this Night March deck is that Christian opted to play 2 Empoleons and 2 Archies. Now, most of the time, they're either playing 2 Empoleons and 1 Archie or just a 1-1 line. But instead, he played a 2-2. And besides that, he opted to play 3 in instead of none. I know a lot of lists are playing like 0 or just 1, just because you take prizes so quickly. But Christian gives a really good answer why he plays the 3 in. Overall, the deck looks kind of a regular Night March deck. I guess the run Xerosic's kind of cool, and a second Lysander. I can't remember how many decks usually play, but hopefully you enjoyed the interview, and thanks for watching. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we do another states question answer video with Christian. And Christian, where are you from?
I'm currently residing in Colonial Heights, Virginia,
Okay.
but I'm originally from New York.
All right. And what states did you play at last weekend?
I played at Virginia States.
Okay. And how'd you end up doing a Swiss?
Swiss, I went 5-2,
Mhm.
and I was 8th seed making cut.
Okay. Now, what were some of the decks that you played against? And did you lose or win against them?
I played against a different deck every round, uh, which was kind of interesting.
Mhm.
How their versus format is now. Um, my round one, I played against Evil Tall Seismitoad,
Okay.
and game one he starts, or I go first, and I set up my Night Marchers. He goes for Ultra Ball for Seismitoad, Switch, Juniper, and whiffs DCE,
Okay.
and so he attaches and passes. And I was able to Battle Compressor again for 180 to knock out his Seismitoad. And then he had no energy on the field, so I was able to just pick off his EXs for game.
Okay.
Um, I guess he only played one Seismitoad because that's the only one Seismitoad I saw throughout the whole series.
Mhm.
But it was pretty quick. Game two was really surprising because he beat me game two because he Skyled for a scramble switch
Mhm.
to scramble switch into Darkrai and get his last 3 prizes. And that kind of caught me off guard because I don't play Mr. Mime.
Okay.
And game three, he had a really bad start and he just dead drew, and I was just night marching with Joltik.
Okay. So now you're on the game round 2. What'd you play
Uh,
against?
Round two was against a Groudon deck,
Okay.
and our game one was a really long game one. I had He wasn't drawing any energies, but I had no. I was just picking off. Um, I was just attacking with non-EXs like Joltix and Pumpkaboos. I'm trying to not give him EX prizes because his Hawluchas were just doing nothing with energies on board. Um, that was a really close game one. He ended me to 2, and he had a Groudon on the bench, and I was able to Lysander for game. Um, Game two was pretty long too, and then it came down to time, and then he only took like 1 prize.
Okay.
So round three, um, I played against a Seismitoad, Aromatisse, Malamar with Xerneas EX.
Okay.
And then game one, um, he really didn't get going. Um, I just started night marching, and then there was a point in the game where he sent up a Xerneas EX with 4 energy, and took, I believe, 2 knockouts on
Okay.
both 2 night marchers, and I was able to knock that out. And he had no energy on board, so he just scooped to go to game two.
Mm.
Game two, he wasn't drawing into his Aromatisse, and I was able to just pick off Pokemon. He put me asleep like twice with Malamar,
Mm.
but I was able to wake up once, and then I was just able to just night march the rest of the way.
Okay.
Round 4, played against Dylan Dreyer with Donphan.
Okay.
And game 1, I started Lone Drachi, and he beat me pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Game 2, he didn't have a really that great of setup, and I just started night marching.
Mm.
Game 3, uh, I had a bad start. I had to use Mew EX to copy his Dedene's attack entrapment to search my deck for basics because I wasn't drawing to anything.
Uh-huh.
I had a handful of Night Marchers, so I'm like, okay, a Sycamore would be great here. Um, but he was able to. He took that game pretty convincingly.
Okay.
Round 5, I played against Vrizian Pyro deck.
Okay.
Game 1 was a pretty long game 1. It was really close. Um, I got Empoleon out by like turn 5, and I ended him down to 2, and I had 1 prize left. And he needed Lysander for game, and he Sycamored. And after that, I was able to Lysander his benched Brizian for game for Night March.
Okay.
Game 2, he was dead drawing. I got Empoleon out, I think about turn 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I set myself up so I wouldn't be like knocked out by Pyro. I wouldn't be able to attack Pyro. I kept attacking around his Verizian, knocking out his Litlios,
Okay.
and he was just not drawing anything. Round 6, I played against Carter Copeland with Metal,
Okay.
and that was probably my hardest matchup all day. Game 1, I made a mistake by I thought I had enough Night Marches in my discard, so when I Night Marched his Heatran with Pumpkaboo, I realized he's resistant, so I was 10 short of getting a knockout,
Yeah.
and I think it, like, Carter, when we talked about it after, I think it ended up costing me because I was down to 1 prize left at the end of the game. But he beat me convincingly after. Game 2, I just dead drew. I was like, hey, look, I have Night Marches in my hand again. So, but yeah, he beat me pretty convincingly. And Aegislash is really annoying
Yeah.
for that.
Just a little bit.
Round 7, I played against my girlfriend. She was using Brazilian Genesect.
Uh-huh.
And it was pretty convincing. I started Night Marching and just getting knockouts game 1. Game 2, she was beating me pretty bad. And then there was a point in the game where I think I ended her down to 2, and then I Night Marched for a knockout, and she needed to draw energy or plasma energy to get 2 knockouts, and I think she didn't get it.
Mm.
And then so I was able to take my last 2 prizes.
Okay.
So I ended up 5-2.
Okay. So now you're moving on to top 8. Are you nervous or anything?
Well, I didn't expect myself to get in top 8.
Uh-huh.
When I did, I was like, I'm shocked. It was between me and Michael Pramowet because we both lost to the 2 of the people that were Dylan Dreyer and Carter Copeland.
Okay.
And they both make cut.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
When I knew who I was playing in top 8, I was a little nervous, but then at the same time, I was like, okay, well, I lost my games because of dead draws, so hopefully I can get my revenge. And
True.
top 8, I played against Dylan Dreyer.
Okay.
So it was, he had Night March. Not Night March. He had Donphan, sorry.
It's okay.
And game 1, I got 2 Empoleons by turn 4 or 5. And it was either Night Marching or attacking with Empoleon the whole game.
Mm.
And then game 2, he had a bad hand. He had 3 Haluches in play. and he had a chorus for 3,
Okay.
and he wasn't drawing anything,
Yeah.
and I was able to attack one Night Marchers and set up in Lysander all his fan piece.
Okay. Now you're moving on to the top 4. What'd you play against?
I played against Carter Copeland with Metal.
Okay.
Game 1, it was a really close game.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it came down to a point where I forget if I won game 1 or game 2. It came down to a point where I'm pretty sure game 1 I won. Uh, I just started attacking with Night Marchers and started powering up a Mew EX with just basic energy so I can attack his Aegislash.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a pretty close game, but I took it out in the end. Game 2, I'm pretty sure he steamrolled me really quickly, and I just like scooped to go to game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Game 3, we were playing it out, and we knew time was about to be called soon. So I started taking like early prizes, and it came down to a point where he ended me down to 2,
Mm-hmm.
and he had Aegislash active, and he ended me down to 1. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And he had an Aegislash active, and he had a Jirachi on bench, and he had a Bronzor on bench,
Mm-hmm.
and he took a knockout on my active, so I sent up a Joltik, and I drew into my Versus Seeker, so I Versus Seeker for twins,
Okay.
or teammates,
Yeah, teammates. Yeah.
and I was able to switch my deck for a DCE and Escape Rope, and then I had another Joltik on bench, so I Escape Roped into one of his bench Pokemon and then just Night March for a game.
All right. Well, very nice. So now you're moving on to the finals. What are you
Yeah.
playing against there?
I played against Henry Ross Coolness with Virgin Genesect.
Okay.
Game 1, I think Virgin Genesect probably has a really hard matchup versus Night March.
Yeah.
Game 1, I believe I got Empoleon out, and I was just going Night March consistently, and then he was keeping up. But once I knocked out his Genesect with 3 energy, I think that's when he scooped and we went to game 2.
Mm-hmm.
Game 2 was pretty close. I wasn't getting set up as early, but he was just taking 1 prize knockouts. I wasn't attacking with Mew EX.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point in the game where as soon as I started drawing DCE and started drawing into my Pokemon, I was able to Night March, and there was a situation in the game where I got down to 2 prizes, and he was down to 2 prizes,
Mm-hmm.
and he ends me down to 2, and he knocks out my active. And so all I need is a DCE and a Versus Seeker. And when he ended me down to 2, my 2 cards were DCE and Versus Seeker for Lysander for game. I was like, I have a game. I showed it to him. And he was like, he knew going in. I mean, Henry was really really cool sport. He knew going in. It was a hard matchup too. But I mean, they were really close games.
Okay. Well, congratulations on winning, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So in your list, you opted to play 2 Empoleon, 2 Archies. Why was that?
Oh, so I have a problem with prizing like one or the other,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like it helped my Donphan matchup a little bit more like a little bit better than my other matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know. I like playing 2 Archie instead of just like not prizing it. I had options of going for like, I can get to 1 Archie, which I probably did like just about every game.
Okay.
There was about like 5 or 6 games I didn't get turn 1 Archie.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you're good, man. So why'd you only play 2 Mew instead of like 3 or 4 like most people do?
I don't know. I guess space. I try to go for like a more consistent list and
Mm,
just try to go for the straight night march.
okay. Now, most people play like four acro bikes and like one or two ends. Why did you decide to make like three acro bikes and three ends?
Um, why'd I go for more ends?
Yeah.
As you can tell from what I was talking about my other games, I did drew a lot.
Mm,
I did drew at least like 3 or 4 times during tournament, and not. I'd rather go for like a supporter that lets me shuffle my hand and draw 6 in the beginning versus something that I'm just gonna draw 2 and then oh look 2 night marches and I can't do anything with that.
okay.
Um, so I opted for that.
Okay. Now, why did you play the one Zerosic?
Uh, so Zerosic, I figured that if I go against Seismitoad, it's still a hard matchup.
Mm,
If I do have the Zerosic, I felt like I can Zerosic their DCE and then Quaking Punch them.
okay.
But I realized that if they get another DCE, I'm just like, okay, well, I force them to commit another DCE to the active Toad, and then I can just Quaking Punch twice. If they don't trump card me, then I can
Mm,
just Night March them the turn after and force them to waste 2 DCEs.
okay. So after playing this list, would you make any changes to it, or do you think the list is pretty solid?
At the moment, um, I've only used Zerosic like once or twice during the whole tournament, so I probably would take that out.
Mm,
Um, I don't know what I would change for it. I might put a fourth acro bike, but I mean, at so far, like this is pretty like consistent for most of my games. I've been getting like at least um off my setup at least every game.
okay. So why did you decide to play Night March for this tournament?
Um, when I went to North Carolina States, there wasn't really a lot of Toad, and there were a lot of Night March and a lot of like Hauger and Groudon, a bunch of random decks.
Okay.
And then I'm from like Northeast area, so I'm so used to like everybody like playing like Evil Tall and Seismitoad, which is why I went with Seismitoad the weekend.
Mm,
Um, and then going into Virginia after playing like league challenges and stuff like that, and there was a bunch of states going on. I assumed that nobody really likes Toad, and I was just going in saying that no, I'm not going to play against a Toad deck. So and
all
then played against 2.
right.
So
Well, how many championship points you got currently?
right now I am at 239.
239. Okay. Have you maxed out all your league challenges yet?
Almost. Um, I can only gain 11 points off league challenges,
Mm,
so after that I'll be at 250 if I
okay.
do.
So, which are you gonna go in regionals coming up?
I'm going to New England regionals.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think May 16th weekend,
Okay.
and maybe Georgia. I'm not 100% yet.
Okay.
Depends on how I do it. New England.
So I know New England's still in this format right now. Are you still? Do you still think you're gonna play the same deck, or you think you might switch for it?
Um, I mean, there's about like a month away, like
Okay.
about 4 weeks away before, so I can probably change my mind. I really do like Land March,
Mm-hmm.
so I might stick with it.
Okay.
But then their format up there, it's just all like Toad and like it's a lot more Toad up there. So I don't know. I might switch.
Okay. Well, do you want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Shoutouts to well my girlfriend for driving me to Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Shoutouts to my New York peeps from Control League, Tristan, Jared, Peter, Angel, Edwin. Shoutouts to our RCX League from Richmond Comics. Everybody's been mad chill. Carter, um, Johnny, Greg, Pat, Russell, and shout out to Squeaky.
Alrighty, man. Congrats on winning it. Thanks for doing this. And good luck at regionals. Hopefully, you get your invite.
Thank you.
Alrighty, man. Take care.
Bye.